Hello, my dear children. Welcome back to our class. How are you all? Okay, very good. Are you ready to learn next lesson? Okay, listen here. In the second unit, Letter to God, we have already seen a letter written by Lencho to God. In the last class, we have learned another letter written by Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter Indira. Nehru's letter gave a lot of hope and inspirations to his daughter. Today, we are going to learn a poem I wrote myself a letter written by Ken Nesbitt. He was an American writer. The poem is about a man who is craving to receive a letter from somebody, but unfortunately, he is not getting any. So he wrote a letter himself. Now let's see what a man wrote to himself. Dear children, listen carefully. I will recite the poem. I wrote myself a letter. I wrote myself a letter. I mailed it right away, and sure enough, the carrier delivered it today. I couldn't wait to get it. I nearly had to shout. I quickly tore the envelope and pulled the letter out. I anxiously unfolded it, but now I must concede. I am clueless as to what it says. I haven't learned to read. Okay, Jess, can you say the idea of the poem? Okay, listen here. I wrote myself a letter. I mailed it right away. And sure enough, the carrier delivered it today. Listen, the man or the poet wrote the letter himself and mailed it. Mailed means sent by post. The man wrote the letter and then he sent the letter right way. He was very curiously waiting for it because he had never got a letter from anybody. But he was sure that today he will get the letter from the carrier. Carrier means a person or thing that carries something. Here the carrier is the postman. He believed that the carrier will deliver letter today. So he was waiting for him. Then I couldn't wait to get it. I nearly had to shout. I quickly tore the envelope and pulled the letter out. When he got the letter, he couldn't wait for a long time. He tore the envelope and pulled the letter out as soon as he got. He couldn't wait for a long time. Okay, listen to the next stanza. I anxiously unfolded it, but now I must concede. I am clueless as to what it says. I haven't learned to read. Listen. Then the man anxiously unfolded it. Unfold means to open it. The funny thing was that he was unable to read. He conceded that. Concede means to agree or to admit that the truth. He agreed that he couldn't understand what was in it, although he had written the letter himself. The poor man, he couldn't read the letter. He was very curious to get a letter, but when he got it, he couldn't read. Here, the poet just wanted to get a letter, but nobody was ready to send him a letter. That's why he wrote himself a letter. Okay, dears, did you enjoy the poem? Then let's go to the textual questions. Look here. Who is the speaker in this poem? Who is the speaker? Yes, very good. The poet himself is the speaker in this poem. Okay, next question. Usually, one does not write a letter to oneself. We know that. Okay, what made the poet write a letter to himself? The poet wrote a letter to himself because he had never got a letter from anybody. Okay, then the third question, listen here. Which line in the poem shows that the poet is impatient to read the letter? Can you identify that lines? Okay, I quickly tore the envelope and pulled the letter out. Okay, once more. I quickly tore the envelope and pulled the letter out. Then the fourth question. Why could not the poet read his own letter? The poet couldn't read his own letter because he hadn't learned to read. Because he hadn't learned to read. Okay, dear children, you must study the textual questions very well. Now it's the time to wind up today's class. Let's meet on next class. Thank you.